Okay, very good. Welcome, everybody. Again, this is a regular meeting of the Board of Ethics, which I call to order. It is 5:02. We are joined by our Chief of Police, Nicholas Bolter. Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm going to skip right to the agenda item number 2 while Chief Bolter is here, which is the request by Nicholas for a advisory opinion from the Board of Ethics. I assume that everybody has, I did circulate Chief Bolter's request. Has everybody had a chance to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. I'm going to ask you, Chief Bolter, just in your own words, to explain what's going on and allow us an opportunity to ask a few questions.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here and for considering my question or my request. So in my profession, it is very common to be asked to participate in promotion or hiring processes for other municipalities. For the last 12 years or so, I've participated in those, and generally through either a municipality that is asking for that assistance from one municipality to another, so it's part of your sort of my job function, or through a company that we used to use for promotions and for hiring, but again through my my position here. Sort of the model or the business model has changed quite a bit for those companies that are in public safety, promotion and hiring. And they have most have turned to using companies that now pay for that service per diem. They don't ask for it as a favor because it's coming from another company. So I was provided with an opportunity to, on occasion, work for a company called Badge Quest in that capacity. So it would be, a day here and a day there throughout the year, where they ask for my service to participate as an oral board member or an assessment member in a promotional process or a hiring process for police executive, officer, detective, various ranks.
Now, you had mentioned we used, can you tell us a little bit about Badge Quest and how you came across them? And, also, yeah, go ahead with that to begin with.
Yep. So Badge Quest has been in business for at least 10 years now. It's managed by a former police chief in Connecticut who held several different chief's positions throughout his career. But when we were looking to find a company to do our next promotional process, which was in 2020, we were not going to use the one that we had used for many years, and that company is no longer in business now. So we did a search to find out what companies were out there, and we came up with one company that was local here to the Connecticut region, which was Badge Quest. There were other companies that were based far away from here, such as Florida, and they would send somebody up here or a group of people up here to conduct a promotional or hiring process for us. But we then lacked the local sort of know-how and fit and questions pertaining to Connecticut. So I thought this was a very viable choice for us. I had done some research and found out some other municipalities that have used Badge Quest and asked for some references and checked with those. And so that's how I came across Badge Quest. It's not as common anymore for municipalities to conduct their own promotional process or hiring process for executives because, as you can imagine, some of the liabilities and logistics that are involved in that.
Okay, that's what that was going to be the next question. Just, so we don't do our own promotional process. I go back to being in the private sector, if I was going to promote somebody, or looking to promote somebody, or somebody was looking to promote me, it would generally be done internally.
Mhm.
Not so with the police, and I think probably fire departments as well.
That's correct. Yeah, this company does a lot of work for fire departments. What sort of happened about 15 or so years ago was a trend to move towards an assessment center. So that included, sort of a traditional oral board, but then also looking at a candidate's abilities to show their practical applications as well as their knowledge. So, the companies would then do a job task analysis and figure out what exactly it was that you were looking for. And departments like ours would then provide them with materials such as our policies and procedures, aspects of Connecticut law that we feel that are important for our candidates or for our potential promotions to be knowledgeable of, case law and things like that.
And then ultimately, once you've worked with Badge Quest, my understanding is it is really up to the police commission to approve, any promotions and hires. Do we use them for hires too, or?
We do not use those for hires. We use the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association for a written exam. So in Connecticut, it's a requirement that there is a written exam that's based on a job task analysis to hire a police officer. So the CPCA, the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association, puts one together. It's available online. It's 2 to 3 times a month. They offer testing. And again, it's just for a written test. And then we move forward with our own oral boards at that point.
Okay. Very good. If anybody else has questions at any point in time, jump in. Otherwise, I will continue now. Go ahead.
Chief, did the town of Simsbury hire Badge Quest last year?
Yes, we hired Badge Quest for our last 2 promotional processes, for the sergeant process and for lieutenant process. And I'm not sure if I answered Mr. Jones's question completely, but they provide the tests and the procedures for that, and then they provide me the results. And then based on recommendations to the police commission, the police commission makes the approval of a promotion or hire.
So the contract is with the police commission or the town manager, or?
Well, there isn't really much of a contract, so it's not a formal, signature for services. I don't know if what that may look like in the future, but I guess you could say per se a contract between the town and this company. Yes.
All right. Are you in that hiring decision, or is it others that make that decision?
Well, it is definitely, you mean hiring of that company?
Yes. If Badge Quest came in today, whose responsibility is it to say yay or nay?
Well, I would say it has been mine. It could probably be up to debate. Since we made the change in 2020, I did propose some of this information to the town manager as far as the process that we were going to use, because we were contemplating at the time potentially doing an in-house process. And then I interviewed several other police chiefs from surrounding communities who had done that, and I decided that it was probably in the town's best interest for us to go with an external company.
Okay.
My name is Barry Pelfan. We haven't met before, but thank you for being here. You said we used Badge Quest twice in 2020. Before that, had the police department ever used an outside private enterprise in the promotional process?
Yes, we did use a company called National Police Testing. We started using them, I believe, in 2006, and we used them right up through 2018 process.
Okay, and then you said they went out of business, and that's why you needed to find another company?
They did go out of business. Yeah, unfortunately, there was a death in the the ownership.
My understanding, and I, did take a look at the, BadgeQuest website. Basically, and I forget his name right now. Basically it says former chief of police, and then he brings on individuals depending upon the situation to work for him in his conducting of the promotional or sometimes hiring process. Is that correct? Or is there
Yeah,
another?
No, that is very accurate. They ask for what's sort of unique about BadgeQuest is that they use sort of high level executives, whether it's chiefs, assistant chiefs, deputy chiefs, captains, for their process. In years past, other either companies or municipalities have asked for sort of one level above whatever that promotional process would be. So if they were looking to make a sergeant testing list, then maybe they would use lieutenants in that process. But this is, like I said, the model has changed a bit, and that was sort of one aspect of it. But they currently use both retired and current standing police executives.
And you mentioned that this is a local company. When they use retired or current police executives, are they from within the Connecticut area?
They are, yes. So I do know that many of them are from Connecticut. I believe that I know that they test a lot in Massachusetts, and they try to use either current or former Massachusetts executives for their processes, and then they try to use Connecticut for Connecticut's process.
Okay. I know the reason we're here, and I think if I had not disclosed to everybody that I've had a previous conversation with Nicholas Bolter before our meeting, more than anything else, to find out the time frame for which the request had to be considered by the board, whether we needed to have a special meeting or we could wait until this particular meeting, which we can, because my understanding is that your first opportunity at this point in time is sometime in November. That still hold?
Yes, sir, that's correct. I mean, there is a more recent opportunity that came up, but the purpose of all this is it's a genuine interest of mine that I have had for the last 12 to 15 years. I very much enjoy the process and would like to be able to continue with that. But you're absolutely correct. When we spoke originally, the first opportunity was either late October or early November.
Yeah. Okay. And, obviously, I think the reason we're here at this point in time, when we take a look at, when I take a look at the, Code of Ethics, Chapter 13 of the, town code, and then Section 1003 of the town charter, we have a situation, and correct me, we have a situation here where, and I'm not inferring anything, but we have a situation where you could be receiving compensation from an organization that at this point in time, you've been responsible to hire for our needs. Yeah, that is that and if you read some of the wording in the code, it would potentially create a conflict or an interest, or at least the optics of a conflict of interest. And I'm not inferring that that is actually the case in your mind, but I'm just, it would certainly, and not the first time the board has seen something like this within the town, but one of the ways of getting around this or making this work, and I haven't polled the other board members, so they may not be of the same opinion as I am. But, you know, is there a way of recusing yourself from the decision to hire Badge Quest when it comes to, when it comes to doing our promotional, uh, evaluations, whether it be done by, the town manager or the police commission, or, is that a possibility? To sort of recuse yourself from that?
You mind if I weigh in on this, Rick?
Go for it.
Yes. I would not even want the chief to recuse himself, because I think recommending this organization or another is probably an important part of his duties. But perhaps if he did not have the sole discretion, if he were still permitted to present his recommendations about who is to be used, and so long as he did not have unilateral decision-making about who to hire, I think that would solve the problem of optics. Other than that, I don't think that it's very unusual for a professional at the chief's level to be doing a special project like this, consulting. It adds to his professional development. It adds to the prestige of the town. So long as his contract doesn't specifically prohibit him from doing other activities other than as police chief. I think there's nothing unusual about this request. And so long as he is not unilaterally hiring Badge Quest, maybe all we need is for him to have his decisions about ratifying Badge Quest or somebody in competition with them, have that decision ratified by whoever, the Board of Selectmen, perhaps? Somebody, some other body that oversees the chief.
Yeah, I would agree with Gary, but by the point that the decision would have to be made by someone other than Chief Bolton or people under his command.
I think, the real question to us is this incompatible with the chief's duties? And certainly when he's working and consulting on a per diem basis for others, there's no conflict. And the question really comes down to, in the future, how does the town engage a consultant? What role does the chief have in it? And the ultimate decision-making should be vested either with the town manager, I think, or the police commission, so that he has some participation, but he doesn't make the final decision. And of course, by that point, everything would be, fully disclosed. But I think I would vote to approve it, but we can put limitations. And I think we would put a condition that if Badge Quest is participating in, the competition for being selected as a consultant, that the decision to hire be done by a different body or official.
Is that a motion, Chip?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
We're ready. All right.
If I could add one more
Discussion of the motion. Go ahead, Bob.
well, one more addition to that, which I think is obvious, is that the chief wouldn't be involved as a consultant on matters with respect to the town of Simsbury. I mean, that seems obvious that that you wouldn't be doing that. So if we were going to formalize this, I would probably add that as well.
Very friendly amendment. Yes.
Yeah. Just in terms of the process, and you mentioned formalizing it. Once we're in agreement and we've approved a motion and so forth, it will be up to the board to actually issue a written advisory opinion, something that's been done in the past, and if somebody else wants to take a shot at it, fine. Or I'll take a shot at it, and we'll get back together. We would get back together in a short period of time to, and circulate it. We'd approve, we make any changes, approve it, and send it on to you, Chief Boulder, and be free to go. In terms of disclosure, yeah, I don't think I think it would certainly be advisable to, disclose, your engagements to both, to Marie, obviously, your boss, with a copy to the Board of Ethics. And we had this in other situations, so it's not, I don't think, Chip, it's terribly unusual what you mentioned.
And I think we could take a vote on it now, and then, encapsulate that motion in, the advisory of the judiciary.
Well, maybe before we take the vote, Chief, do you feel there's any reason why you would object or be uncomfortable with the stipulation that the final decision rests with someone other than yourself?
No, I certainly appreciate the thoughtfulness, the decision, and the perspectives, and that's really why I asked for the advisory opinion, because I think it's important to have all three of those things. But thank you for asking.
Great.
Okay, we have any further discussion? We have a motion, before the board at this point in time that, we would issue an advisory opinion subject to its drafting that would, approve of Chief Boulder's working as a per diem consultant on an occasional basis with Badge Quest, subject to the proviso that the final decision on the Simsbury Police Department hiring Badge Quest for its promotional purposes resides with someone other than the chief, probably the either the town manager or the police commission, whatever is appropriate, and that on let's say an annual basis, these engagements be disclosed to the town manager and to the Board of Ethics for our information. Does that accurately state the motion in too many words?
And Bob's addition to that as well, that that he not participate as a consultant with respect to Simsbury hiring.
Okay.
I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's a unanimous vote. Opposed? Okay.
Are you going to take a shot at putting something in writing for us, Rick?
I will do that.
Hey, good for you. Thank you very much.
I will do that. I will try and have it. I think we need this, I think we probably need to have one more meeting. It may very well be short, but I will try to get this out the next couple of days. I'm wondering if everybody is, if the board is available, let's say next Tuesday at this time.
Fine.
And if, and I'll call a meeting, I can call a special meeting for next Tuesday at this time to, for the purpose of finalizing the advisory opinion. And if I'll send it out, if for some reason you can't make, this meeting, I will, I would accept any comments that you have, again, directly to me.
I have a trial next Tuesday, but I expect that we should be free, by 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock is a little early,
Pardon?
Mr. Chairman. 5 o'clock is
A little early.
Yeah.
Do you want to move back to, do we want to go back to 6? Is that too early?
6 is better. Yeah, it ensures that, or it should ensure that I'm back and able to hop on Zoom. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom,
Rick, we actually
is
we
that,
won't have a
we'll ask
we
you to
won't have
join
a-
here. Is that acceptable as far as putting together a meeting, another Zoom meeting?
I think
it
Tom had.
depends on how long you go. Our TV channels next Tuesday are busy at 5:45 and 7, and we only have 2 channels. So if you would be done by 6:45, that 6 o'clock time would work. But if not, we'd have to find another day.
I would think we'd be done well before 6:45.
I hope so.
Okay.
Write very short words, Rick.
Yeah. Chief, thank you very much for joining us. We will, we're going to meet. You're welcome to join, or we can, once we've approved the, actual letter and so forth, I'll make sure that it is delivered to you promptly.
Thank you to the entire board for your time and consideration. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All the
Have a-
best to you, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you for everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Once again, I wanted to welcome Bob to the board. Normally we do this in person, but if you've got a 2-minute spiel on your background and so forth, 30-second spiel,
Yeah, I'll keep
10
it
seconds
short.
on the elevator,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
go for it.
So I'm Bob Muley. My wife and I have lived in Simsbury since I think 1983. So we're young timers here compared to many. Both our kids were educated in the Simsbury public schools. I've served on the Connecticut, the Simsbury Housing Partnership, which set up the original low-income housing up in the middle of town. And I chaired a charter revision commission. I worked on the planning commission when we we were rewriting the plan of development, and the zoning board of appeals. So I had a lot of experience, and then I guess work got busy and I kind of disappeared for a while. Now that my kids are grown and I'm slowing down, Mike Payne reached out to me because he knows I'm such an ethical guy, and asked me to be on the board, and this is great. So and I guess the last thing I'd add is my wife and I have traveled recently. Finally, we've been able to get out of state, and every time we go away, we see beautiful places. And every time we come back, we go, well, that was beautiful, but we have that right here. Or if you drive 5 minutes this way, we have it right here. And it's really is pretty amazing how beautiful a town Simsbury is. So that's my Chamber of Commerce speech for the town of Simsbury. I hope everybody watching on TV will hear that.
Well, welcome. Let's see. Let me ask Bert, do we have minutes for the last meeting, which was back in January, or can we?
Maybe
Have
we'll
them by the
approve
next-
them on Tuesday, yes.
Okay. Well, we will defer that item until,
That was, as you
until
recall, it was
next
a very
meeting.
busy and eventful meeting.
okay. Yeah, as well as minutes for this, because we're going to have to post them sooner or later. Other than that, I will, tomorrow I'm going to I will post notice of our special meeting next Tuesday, and within a day or two, I will get out a draft advisory opinion, and we can go from there. And if, again, next Tuesday doesn't work, if you've got any comments, please send them to me. Anything else?
Thank you, Rick. I'll move
Do
to
I-
adjourn. I'll move
Pardon?
to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn?